Hi, welcome to HeKatesXing. Just want to say that I have just watched Science to Soul, Tarot with Jen, and I feel that basically, let me just fix that up. Okay, basically what I found was that I was listening to her Where I Tarot, which I thought was really, really interesting, from her VR to Common Hawthorn, which I thought was quite good. It's quite a good little video. Where I Tarot. Okay, in the past I began tarot like a long time ago, 20 plus years ago. And at first, when I first started reading tarot, I was reading at home, reading at friends' places, and really sort of practicing. I was also reading at work, where I was working at the time. I was gaining experience from reading for friends, and then they started to offer me a little bit of money for an exchange of the service or a trade of some sort, which was really cool. And then I started to read. I was invited to read at a rather large local health expo. So I read there, did 2 days of reading. That was amazing. So from there I started to read a lot more with the different psychic fairs that were going around the area as well. I started to sort of read monthly, and then it was sort of started to be, because there were so many different events going on, I started to sort of read weekly, and sort of expanded from there. And I was reading in so that was the expos and the fairs, and reading at people's houses, and I had a few people around at home and doing different things, and I ended up creating a space in the shed where I was living at the time, and was reading from there as well, which was really cool. And then I was invited to read at a shop, which was exciting, and so I was reading in the back room and getting more and more clients, and that was really cool. And then I started to read at more, doing this, the psychic fairs, still doing, and that was monthly and then weekly, and was sort of full on. Plus I was trying to work during the week, and then I was reading at night for clients or that, so it started to expand from there. And then I wasn't at work so much for certain reasons with kids and things like that, so that sort of broke. So I wasn't so busy working full time, but I was still reading at home for people and that sort of thing, which was quite cool. And then with the psychic fairs and reading from the shops and doing all that, and then I ended up having my space at home. And then from there I decided to open up my own healing centre and started to work from there, and that was 7 days a week basically. So I was doing that on top of everything else. It was getting very, very tiring, the massages and the energy healings, and then the readings all day, and then there was teaching as well, mentoring, so that was pretty full on with reading tarot. And so I took some time off and recuperated, took care of myself, and came back and decided to just do tarot readings online, which I've had some experience of in the past, but this was a bit more, coming more into it a bit more full time, so that's been really cool. I do read for people face to face. If I go to a coffee, or for a coffee, a cafe or something like that, I will read for strangers in a coffee shop. If I'm reading for family or for friends, I don't mind doing it at my place or at their. Normally I'm just at home in my space reading tarot. But I will read. I've gone into town and I've sat and had a coffee and decided to throw a few cards for myself and that, or I've just bought a new deck and I'll have a look at the cards. I've read in the park for somebody. I was sitting there with my cards, and she sort of came and spoke to me, and I just drew a couple of cards for her. And then I've read for my taxi driver. I was in the car with the taxi, and we just pulled up at my place, and I paid her and everything, and then she sort of asked me a question, and could I pull out my cards for her? So I did a quick reading for that. I mean, that was just a quick 3 cards. It was nothing major there. It was just a real quick message. It was an answer to something that she wanted. It wasn't a problem. So yeah, I will read basically. If I'm reading for online on the computer for a client or whatever, I will definitely be reading in my space. You'll see on my lives, I read tarot in my space. You'll see my table set up and that in front of me, in front of the computer. Which the table can move at any place. I could be sitting over by my couch, or which you'll see in photos and things like that as well. So basically it just depends on what you feel, or what I feel I need to do for my client, or whether I'm reading for myself or family or friends, or it just depends. I can read anywhere. I can be out and about and just shuffle the cards and throw 3 or 4 cards out, whether that's for myself or for someone else. I mean, I'll read all sorts of places. So yeah, that's me reading tarot. Not a long one. I didn't, if I go anywhere, I've always got tarot in a bag. I'll always take my tarot cards in a bag with me. Definitely will read tarot anywhere, basically. Where do I tarot? Wherever I feel like, whether it's on my bed behind me, whether it's on the couch over there, or whether it's at a park or a coffee shop, or whether it's for a client or for myself. I'll just read anywhere, really. I'll read at home, I'll read at a friend's place or a client's place, just wherever, really. Motel. I've sat in a motel and read. I've been at the airport and read a few cards. If I've been at waiting for an air flight for a flight or something like that, and I've read cards. So yeah, it changes, it varies, just depends on what's going on for me, where I'm at, what mood I'm in. I'll read. And I just realised I left the Santa Muerte Tarot Ouija, the Oracle of the Dead, from my previous video. I left that up. Whoops, instead of changing it, but never mind. Let me just remove that now. Whoops, that was clever, wasn't it? So that was my previous video I just did before, which I would have uploaded and done. So this was all in thing. Anyway, so that's it from me, where I tarot. So thank you to Science to Soul Tarot with Jen. And of course, thank you to Common Hawthorn. So it'll be great to see what other responses and that come through. I haven't done a VR for absolute ages, with all the time I had off, and I've sort of lost track of who's doing VRs and who's what and what's going on. So I really do need to sort of catch up and have a look at some of those now that I've got myself sorted and back into it and that sort of thing. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell so you know when my next video will be uploaded. There's a lot going on. I've got a lot of videos coming up, which will be exciting with the Santa Muerte Tarot. Which I'm exploring, just learning tarot. You can use it for any tarot deck. It just gives you some ideas and suggestions. And then coming up after the 10th of March, of course, will be my lives and things coming up, but also the Taco de Marseille, the exploration of that with my own thoughts and ideas, plus working through with a book by it's a DK book anyway, predicting your future. Anyway, so that's it for me. I tarot anywhere. So take care and blessed be.